Okay, I should be live now. Oh, let me make a. See if this works. Okay, I should be live now. Cool, everything looks good. Let me make a thumbnail real quick. It's a video thumbnail size. 1280 by 720. Cool. 1280 by 720. This kind of black. Some text. COVID-19 GraphQL wrapper. Let's make that white. Nunito. Let's bump up that font size. And let's make this black. Go to GraphQL logo. All right, let's get a GraphQL logo. Let's do this. It's a PNG, transparent. Save this. Let's go back to Figma. Cat stop. And drop that in here. We could do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Then add a plus symbol, make that white. And let's make that bigger. And let's get a icon for this. Let's say virus. I should have done this before, but let's get this nice one. There you go. Now we have a thumbnail. Alright, let's export this. Export PNG. Export it. Let's put that on desktop for now. COVID-19 GraphQL thumbnail. Okay, so now let's update. Edit video. And upload a thumbnail from desktop. Sure. Stop. My cat's trying to eat my food right now. COVID-19 coronavirus. Hey! Get off. Get off. GraphQL API. Web dev. I don't know. Maybe this is saving.
Now running in the game, I don't gotta max it. Maxing all the credits in the car. They ain't trying to see us cause they
creating a GraphQL server for COVID-19 stacks. Cool. Let me get the link for that now.
We ain't never fishing, we looking for addition, we looking for the money, never subtraction, never looking for the honeys. If they waiting for us to come up, then they know we never buck out. They looking for the shit, but they know we never luck out. I'm looking and hiding and
says
running.
one per chat is disabled for the stream. Oh. Hold on. It says chat is disabled for some reason. Let me. Chat.
Yeah. Remember back in the day, never really had shit. Now we on top and we always talking mad shit. I don't wanna go back to the days we ain't never had shit. Now I'm running in the game, I don't gotta max it.
Free chat is enabled now.
They ain't trying to see us cause they always in the car and they smoking in the car and they never run around when they waiting for the shit. Then they running with the clowns. I don't never gotta wait cause I frown on
Alright, cool. Chat is enabled.
Put in their place if they understand the fishing, understand the vision. We ain't never fishing, we looking for addition, we looking for the money, never subtraction, never looking for the honeys. If they waiting for us to come up, then they know we never buck out. They looking for the shit, but they know we never luck out. I'm looking and hiding and running, feeling on the world, but I'm feeling in my kins.
Alright guys, we're live. I got the stream set up now. I'm gonna put the link in my bio, so come through and drop something to chat. We're gonna make a GraphQL wrapper for coronavirus stats. Maybe at the end of this, you guys can go and look stuff up on the server that I created. Alright guys. Does Instagram have a link? There's so much room for it. There's so much room for it. There's so much room for it. Cool, so We should start getting people in now.
I remember the words from my old man. Yeah, my patience for some reason is running low, it's on empty. Yeah. Only you look out for yourself then. It's obvious to me that you're taking, never giving. Continue to put the blame on me. Yeah, you continue to put the shame on me. Yeah, I'm not hesitant to tell you.
Alright, so first things first that we're gonna do we're gonna make let me put the chat up here. Alright, so basically what I want to do is there's this API I think is https // corona stats.online/USA. So there's an API that you can get some stat information for the coronavirus, and it's currently in a terminal. So what I want to do is create a GraphQL wrapper, so that way it can just be live. So yeah, so this is gonna be the API link. Hopefully, actually, this is not the one. I lied. Corona virus API. I think it's this one. API endpoint. Get endpoint. Get the endpoint. This one. Countries. Let me post this on Instagram. Alright, cool. Alright, so first thing I want to do is find a good coronavirus API. I do know Wes Boss has, or he used one, so I think maybe that one might be good to start off with. React hooks with coronavirus API code along. So code available. Let's see, what's he using for this? Maybe he has the URL somewhere. Okay, so the URL is this one. Details. Last updated. So we have confirmed, recovered, deaths, daily summary. Confirmed, that leads to cool. So yeah, we have a bunch of stats here, also longitude and latitude. Let me just double check again if my stream audio is good. Okay, so the URL is cool. So yeah, so I want to convert this into GraphQL API. Basically, this is a normal API where you basically where you go do a GET request on this route like we did here, and it just gives you this information. But then basically we have to make another GET request to this URL. So instead, I want to use GraphQL because in GraphQL you can build up your queries and then you can find data very easily. So yeah, so let's grab this API URL, and then what I want to do now is let's make a folder. Let's make a folder and let's call this COVID-19 GraphQL wrapper. Let's open that in our text editor. Let's first go into this. Give me one sec. I'm going to share the link to some of my friends. All right, cool. So, first things first, let's make a, I want to host this on Git, so let's make a Git ignore. Probably make this a little bigger today. So I could Git ignore, then let's go to my GitHub. And have a gist here for the README. This one. Okay. Oh, let's just view that raw. Cool. We got that Git ignore. Let me reduce the font size a little. Okay. Second thing I want to do is have prettier to format my, basically format my code. Let's do trailing comma ES5 single quotes true. I think honestly that's as much as I need. The other thing we're going to do is, so we have this URL. Let's go to Apollo server. Close all these other stuff. Alright, so we're going to be using Apollo server to create our GraphQL server. I haven't done this in a while, so let's see how we get started. We have to install Apollo server and GraphQL. So first, I'm going to do an npm init. That's good. Version, description, GraphQL server for COVID-19 stats. Entry point will be index.js, sure. Git repository. Let's make a Git repository for this. Let's make new repository name. COVID-19 GraphQL wrapper. GraphQL wrapper. Is Apollo server free? Yeah, Apollo server is it's a library or framework. It because GraphQL is basically the standard, and then companies or developers create like a library off of those standards. So like there's different ones. There's like GraphQL Yoga. It's like another one. I know GraphQL Apollo server. GraphQL wrapper or alright, so this is our repository. Keywords. Author, that's me. Cool. So now we're gonna npm install Apollo server and then GraphQL. I think that's what it said. Alright. So now let's initialize. We initialize the repository. Let's do git status. I haven't initialized actually. Git status. Just make an index.js. Just call this server JS. Let's go to our package JSON and let's add a script here. Dev. It's gonna run nodemon server.js. We're gonna have our start script. It's gonna run node server.js. It's npm install nodemon. Save that to development dependencies. Yo, Christian, how has New York been? Has it been crazy? All right. So first thing we have to do is import Apollo server from right. This is Node. I have to use Apollo server is require Apollo server. Oh, it's misspelled const. It's wild here. The train stations are more empty. Yeah, man. I saw the Times Square. It's like completely empty. It's creepy, honestly. Set up the server. Index.js. Actually, they call it index, so I'll call this index.js. full screen. Okay, so now I also have to get GQL from Apollo server. Now we do our type defs. That's gonna be GQL. And then we're gonna have a type of query. Let's just call this test. Test will return, let's just say, type test. Return hello will be a string. So test will return a type of test. I'm just doing this just to test out if the server runs correctly. So now we'll need our resolvers, and that will be query, and then we'll call this actually hello. So how's Texas? Man, everyone here is buying all the toilet paper, buying everything. I heard people even buying guns, like if we're in a zombie apocalypse. Actually, let's wrap this all in a function called start, because I want to use async await in here. Let's put that in there. Say const server equals await new Apollo server, and then we're gonna pass in the type defs and the resolvers. GraphQL is a framework that displays data information in graphs, right? Yeah, so basically let's do like GraphQL SpaceX. It's like a different way, like, so you know, like traditional APIs, you do like get request, post request, update. It's a different way of creating APIs. So this is like an example. I'll blow this up. So let me just get rid of this. So basically, let's say, so this is how GraphQL, like, or graphical, it's like a playground for you to query data in. So if I wanted to query data, for example, here I have this explorer thing, and I can say, like, for example, rockets, or let's see, rockets, and then rocket names, for example. Maybe, let's see, a description, country, boosters, their ID, let's say, maybe like their Wikipedia link, I think. Then when you play that, I get all this data about the different rockets that SpaceX has. So you can see that here, like I don't have to like go on like documentation, like I could literally just see what I want. And like, let's say I didn't want this Wikipedia link, I can delete it. And here I don't get that Wikipedia link. So basically you shape what data you want and need. So it's pretty cool. Let me grab something like this. Nice, we have 5 people now watching. If you search up the link for that, if you search up SpaceX GraphQL API on YouTube, on Google, you could get it. Okay. Oh, let's see. I kind of forgot how to do this. Oh, okay, so actually this is not a promise. We get the server and then we say server, so we want to await server.listen. Then I think we can get the URL from this. This returns to us the URL. So then after that, we'll say console.log GraphQL server is. That's really crazy. The best. How's Casey? You got it from there? You said the best hose cases? GraphQL server is running on. Now we'll pass that URL. And let's add a little rocket. All right, and then let's just run and start. So, like always in development, Fortnite. Nah, bro, I ain't playing on Fortnite. The world's ending, man. Alright, let's do npm run start. Oh, not start. Okay, so now that opened on my other thing. Okay, so now this is the GraphQL playground. And if I go here, I can query for hello and get, well, this makes no sense, but, okay, it works. So I set up the server correctly. So now we can actually start adding these, how do you get the COVID-19 COVID cases number? Oh, I'm using this, did I lose it? I'm gonna use this API. So basically, I'm not recreating the API. I'm basically taking this API and making it into a GraphQL API. So I'm taking it from here to basically make it into a GraphQL API so that you can like it's basically called like a wrapper. Efren giving me shout outs on his story, damn. Thank you, bro. Thank you for your service. Alright. Alright, so basically what we have to do now is we're gonna take this data here. Let me actually get this URL and then let's put this up here and call this API URL. That's gonna be a string. Let's use, I want to import Axios. If you see me doing this a lot, it's because I sneezed this morning in the toilet, and then I pulled like my muscle in the back and on my back, so now my back hurts. So I keep doing this. Okay, so we have the API URL. Now what we want to do is, where do we start? All right, so basically we want to make types. So let's see. So we want to have a type called confirmed and then people can do all confirmed, and then what that return is an array of confirmed objects, confirmed, and let's do a double bang there. So what this means is whenever you query for all confirmed, this will return an array of confirmed cases, and these little exclamation marks mean that like the data can't be null. So the API will throw a error if we do that. And let's see what's inside of confirm. So we have this link here. So let's click that. Oh, actually, before I do this, let me initialize this get status. First command. Okay, let me add this to GitHub. Version control. All right, so this should be up there. Cool, it should be up there now. Tracking our changes, so that's good. Yep. Let me check my work calendar real quick because I do have some other work to do. This is not my job, by the way. I'm just doing this for fun because I'm not like I don't have